Archangel Michael says, "Because I love you so much, I will give you a golden opportunity, but God sent me to test you. If you open this within 55 seconds, you will be blessed, but if you ignore it, something you need to receive this week may never come again." This is not just a message, it is a divine sign. Your name was mentioned in heaven, and when I heard it, I wept because I knew you were being pulled in too many directions, but the most important one, the one that would lead you to your purpose, your healing, and divine union, was being missed once again. I begged God to allow me to speak directly to you, so he said, "All right, but test them, test their hearts." This is a test disguised as a message wrapped in mercy, but also a final warning, because heaven's patience is limited. Is it a coincidence that I'm conveying this message to you right now? No, it is not. It is one of the divine laws of the universe in heaven. Yes, the law of attraction. You feel extremely lucky that I'm conveying this message to you, don't you? Before moving on to the message, please like the video so that this message can reach other people, dear soul. You must also receive and accept the message with love. If you write "I have received and accepted it with love" in the comments and seal it with 888, you will maintain the balance of giving and receiving. Don't forget to stay tuned and subscribe for our other messages. Says Archangel Michael. Now we can slowly move on to the message. I know how you've been feeling lately. That big thing is coming, but you can't explain it to anyone or prove it. You just feel it in your bones, that strange restlessness, the tears that suddenly burst forth when no one is around, and the dreams that are trying to tell you something. The other side is speaking, and that's me, your angel team, your ancestors, and your soul family whispering, "Get ready, the shift is near." But every time we try to get through to you, the world diverts you with a call, a noise, or a doubt. For this reason, I was instructed to speak to you urgently without giving you time to overthink, because we don't have hours, we have seconds, and the energy around you is moving quickly right now. There are doors you're supposed to walk through, but they won't. I'm not here to flatter you, I'm here to tell you the hard truth. You've been ignoring God, and he noticed. But do you know what else he noticed? Your tears at 2:17 a.m. when no one else was around, your silent prayers. Stay open forever. This message is one of them. You may think this is random, but nothing that comes to you from heaven is by accident. I'm not here to scare you, I'm here to protect you and prepare you to wake up before something reaches your home that you're not ready for. It's already moving through your timeline through someone's decision or someone's hidden intentions. That was the moment this message began to form last month when you whispered, "God, if you're real, please just show me something." Now, the sign is screaming in your face. Don't skip, don't delay, don't scroll past the one message that could change everything. However, heaven saw it coming, which is why I'm standing in front of you like this, raising my voice and blocking it with my sword until you answer this calling. If this message is reaching your heart, then stop and subscribe. You were meant to receive it because it's part of your spiritual contract, which you made before you were even born, declaring that you would not leave when the angel appeared in front of you. And beloved, the time has come, but it's hidden in mystery to test your spirit. Will you follow the pull you feel in your gut right now, or will you ignore it again and tell yourself it's just another video? No, it's not just another video. Look how your heart is beating faster. Look how your soul feels suddenly called back into the light. That's not an accident, that's your memory waking up. That's the version of you that still believes in miracles, shaking your shoulders and saying, "Please don't miss this." And if you think your past disqualifies you from divine favor. But this time is different, and we need your decision, not next week, not later, because what's about to be revealed is not meant to be shared with everyone. This is a private scroll from heaven, and your name is on it. I have defended souls darker than yours, and I have fought for those who betrayed their own light, and yet God still made room for them at his table. You are no exception. When you walked away, especially, you were always loved and watched over. I've been trying to block the negative energy coming from their confusion, fear, and past pain, but I can only do so much. You must spiritually awaken now, Or else the situation may turn around and you'll look back and ask yourself, why didn't I listen when I felt that tug? Because even if they ignore it, the blessing will be given to someone else. At this moment, someone is. The next step depends on the energy you choose. If you move into light, forgiveness, faith, they will see you with spiritual eyes. But if you revert to fear, pride, and silence, they will walk away believing the worst. This message is the crossroads, which is why it feels so urgent, because I can see what you can't see. A door is forming, invisible for the time being, but if you accept it, if you say yes, then that door will open. You'll meet someone you didn't expect, a conversation will take place that seems too good to be true, a delay will become a breakthrough, and a secret will be revealed that helps you understand why you had to endure all that pain. However, if you close your heart right now and say, no, not today, the delay will continue, and I will back off, not out of rage, but because free will is holy and God won't force you. Even love must be chosen, and love is what? This entire message is a love letter written in invisible ink that only awakened eyes can see. As it is read aloud to you, your soul is saying, I remember this, I asked for this, I know it's real. You've been waiting for evidence that this is it, pleading for direction, and now heaven is saying, fine, one more chance, but this is the last test before the shift. I can see what you can't see, a door is forming, but it's invisible for the time being. However, if you accept this message and say, yes God, I'm listening, then that door will open, you'll meet someone you didn't expect, a conversation will take place that seems too perfect to be a coincidence, a delay will become a breakthrough, and a secret will be revealed that helps you understand why you had to endure all that pain. However, if you close your heart right now and say, no, not today, then the delay will continue, and I will back off, not out of rage, but because free will is holy, God will. Your soul is saying, I remember this, I asked for this, I know it's real, as the entire message is a love letter written in invisible ink that only those with awakened eyes will see. It is not forced, love must be chosen, and love is what this is. Even the strongest warriors don't receive this kind of message because what you carry is not ordinary. You are what we call a divine carrier, someone born with a blueprint that contains more light than most, more purpose than most, and yes, more spiritual warfare than most. That's why it's been so heavy lately, and that's why things break. You've been pleading for guidance, and now heaven is saying, fine, one more chance, but this is the last test before the shift. The enemy and those who stand to gain from your confusion are afraid of you waking up, but I, Michael, am not afraid of what worries you. I was sent to protect you when you didn't even know I existed, and I stood between you and things you didn't see, like the car that could have hit you, the message you weren't supposed to read, and the person you were about to trust who would have destroyed your peace. I didn't ask for praise, all I asked for was that when the real test came, but you would hear me say that your spirit would sense the vibration of truth and act. The test is right now, don't try to make sense of it all. Divine plans don't always come with explanations, they come with presence. If you can feel mine with you right now, you're getting goosebumps, and the sudden silence in the room shows that your heart knows this isn't a coincidence, then you're already awakening. However, there's more, because this is the part that separates those who want change from those who take action. Yes, I understand your pain. They did. I know what they said behind your back. I know how much you gave and how little they saw, but God saw it all. He saw every tear you shed by yourself. He saw every moment you lowered your voice to make others feel louder. Heaven has not forgotten. However, God does not provide restoration without alignment, and this message is your alignment, the moment you turn back toward your throne because, beloved, you forgot who you were. Life made you forget, and now I'm here to remind you. Heaven wrote your name next to something sacred, a promise, a timeline, a legacy, and you were born into spiritual royalty. That's why your storms have been violent, your future is loud, and this golden opportunity I'm offering isn't a reward, it's a retrieval, it's the reclaiming of what was stolen from you. But do you still believe that one message could change your life? Do you still think that even after everything, you are still worthy? God needs to know if you still believe that you were chosen. You should think that the timing of this is not random because, although someone else saw this message before you, it didn't speak to them the way it is speaking to you because it was meant for your soul, not for them. The moment your spirit leaned in and you chose to keep listening, you passed the second test. Now, however, comes the test of trust because you're going to be asked to let go of something that doesn't fit where God is trying to take you. It could be a belief or a bitterness. If you choose to trust me, something will come that will make sense of everything that didn't, restore what you thought was lost, and open a door you couldn't have built on your own. The reason I say this so boldly is because I have seen the scroll with your name, the divine timeline that was sealed in light, and it's ready to unseal, but only if your soul is open. A pattern, a relationship, an old identity, and it will feel uncomfortable, but it will also feel like freedom. Michael told God, if you let me speak to them, they will remember who they are. So here I am speaking through this screen, crossing realms, shattering the illusions of time, just to reach your ears because the test wasn't about surviving, but rather will you answer? Those that missed this won't even be aware of what they missed, but you're still here and reading. Something in your atmosphere will change in 3 days, a phone call, a name you haven't heard in a long time, a message that sounds too perfect to be true, a sudden burst of peace where anxiety used to live, as a result of this choice, the divine consequence of this alignment. There is someone in your life who has been divinely connected to you, but they have been prevented from seeing your light because you've been dimming. Listening means something that activates something that is the signal I was waiting for. Since energy never lies, those who skip this won't even realize what they missed, but if you choose to rise now fully spiritually and emotionally, they will feel it even if they're far away and even if you're not speaking. Their heart will be drawn to yours again when your energy shifts, and you're still here, reading and listening, which means something activates something that is the signal I was waiting for. Now hear me in. This choice is the divine consequence of this alignment, but only if you don't walk away again. There is someone in your life who has been divinely connected to you, but they haven't been able to see your light because you've been dimming it to survive because you thought hiding would protect you. Something in your atmosphere will shift over the course of 3 days, such as a phone call, a name you haven't heard in a while, a message that sounds too perfect to be random, a sudden burst of peace where anxiety used to exist, a financial change, or other circumstances. But if you decide to rise now fully spiritually and emotionally, they will sense it even if they are far away and even if you are not speaking. Their heart will be drawn to yours once more because energy never lies, and when your energy changes, so will theirs. I won't lie to you, though, the path ahead will require courage and faith in the invisible to believe even when the evidence is weak, but those who do walk with miracles, the kind of miracles that defy logic and the kinds of breakthroughs that leave people wondering, how? How quickly did this happen? This is holy ground, and heaven is watching. I, Archangel Michael, am here with you not as a symbol, a warrior, a protector, or the voice that will not abandon you this time. I am telling you clearly that you are still on time, you are still chosen. This is the kind of divine alignment that shifts everything: home, health, finances, love, peace, and it begins here. If your soul is saying yes, don't ignore it. If your eyes are watering and you don't know why, don't ignore it. I need you to feel what I'm about to say, not just hear it, because what I'm saying has been whispered in heaven for months, waiting for your soul to be still enough to finally receive it. There is a door that has been hidden from you, not because you are unworthy, but because the timing wasn't ready. Keep on with me, beloved soul, we're not done yet. You've come too far to turn away. Protecting it from hands that would mistreat it, you prayed for love, but you didn't realize that true love requires healed hands. You prayed for success, but you didn't realize that spiritual strength must come first. You prayed for peace, but you forgot how much clutter your heart was still carrying. But heaven didn't forget, and as the pause is coming to an end, the blessing is standing behind it. The person you've been dreaming about is already being nudged. The resources, the healing, the clarity, it's all coming together. The reason I'm here is because God said, before I release it, make sure their heart is clear. Your divine timeline is being activated, and the only thing separating you from the miracle is your willingness to believe again, not in religion or perfection, but in divine timing. This is it. The final test wasn't to prove anything to heaven, but to prove to yourself that you're not giving up, that you're still listening, and that your heart hasn't hardened from the pain that you still. When you believe in light, you've overcome all the darkness, and something is about to happen. It could be a divine encounter, a phone call, a number that repeats, a stranger saying something that seems like it was meant just for you, a dream that wakes you up, or a sign that only you will understand. When it happens, don't ignore it. It will be gentle but unmistakable, and that will be your confirmation. You see, when heaven selects someone for a divine timeline, the world does everything in its power to divert them. God knew you would need someone strong, someone who has seen battles, someone who could stand between you and the arrows of doubt. Now, I need you to stand too, because your legacy begins here. No more hiding your heart, no more acting as though you don't care, no more saying it's okay when your soul is aching for more. You weren't sent here to settle, you weren't made to be forgotten. You are under attack, not because you're weak, but because your light is rare, and darkness always fights what it fears. You were born to carry the frequency of heaven, and when you do, the world either tries to silence you or follows you. It's time to stop shrinking and to stop delaying the version of you that God already sees. You are not waiting for your life to begin, it already has, and everything you thought you lost is returning. Your spirit knows that you are a walking prophecy, which is why you've never fit in and why your journey has been anything but easy. It was heaven turning the page when you were too afraid to let go, but now you're ready to receive what was always yours. It's coming sooner than you think. The next few days will feel strange, don't resist it. There will be a shift in your energy, and you might feel like crying for no reason or want to be alone. The nights you prayed for a sign were never ignored, and the person you loved who left you confused is not the end of your story. That betrayal, that rejection, and that thing you thought would break you. The clearing is your spiritual field being prepared because what's coming and cannot exist in confusion, and you, my dear soul, were never intended to be confused for this long. The person you are becoming is strong. Don't be afraid of your own strength, don't soften it to please others, don't explain your gifts to people who only see the surface. Heaven sees your depth, heaven sees the healer, the guide, the creator, the lover, the light bringer. Heaven sees the child who still longs to be chosen, and they choose you again. Once more, it has already happened, and everything you believed you had lost is coming back. The tears you shed in private were heard by angels. The nights you prayed for a sign were never disregarded, and the person you loved who left you perplexed is not the end of your story. That betrayal and rejection that you thought would break you were actually a redirection. It was heaven turning the page when you were too afraid to let go, but now you're ready to receive what was always yours. The coming days will feel odd, but don't fight it, there will be a change in. Heaven sees your depth, so don't be afraid of your own strength, don't tone it down to make others comfortable, and don't explain your gifts to people who only see the surface. Your energy may feel like crying for no apparent reason, you may want to be alone, or you may notice elderly people reaching out. That's the clearing, and that's your spiritual field being prepared because what's entering cannot live in confusion, and you, my dear soul, were never meant to be confused for this long. God is not far away, He is closer than your breath, and He is whispering through me right now, my child, I am so proud of you. I know you're tired and afraid, but I'm right here, not punishing you, not abandoning you. I've been waiting for you to remember who you are, and now that you do witness what I release, let that sink in. Heaven has been waiting for this version of you, the one who listens, the one who doesn't run, the one who doesn't. Who, despite everything that has happened to you, still hopes that you are ready and that I, Archangel Michael, will walk with you in the days ahead. You might not see me, but you will sense me in the strength that rises when you think you're done with the conversation that changes everything, and whenever you feel alone, ask yourself, Michael, are you with me? And the reason I'll respond is that I love you more than you realize, that God loves you even more, and that your journey is only getting started. This was the message. Now, as you read these words, your spirit is being marked, not in fear, but in favor, because you stayed because something in your heart told you to don't scroll, don't skip, stay listen. This was your golden opportunity. Take a deep breath because what comes next will reverberate in your soul for the rest of your life. You may not realize it yet. And that choice is going to alter the course of your upcoming season. You see, there are people who will wait their entire lives for a sign and never know they were given hundreds, but you stopped, heard, and felt that alone makes you unique. For this reason, I, Archangel Michael, was permitted to deliver this message to you directly. Heaven only permits this type of message to those who are prepared. You wouldn't be hearing this unless your time had truly arrived. And now, this is the last revelation. Someone is entering your life. They were held back until now because your soul wasn't completely open, but now that you've spiritually awakened, but remember that not everyone who shows up is meant to stay. Some are tests, some are gifts, and your job is to feel the difference. Now that you've demonstrated that you can hear when heaven speaks, they're being released. They won't arrive in chaos, they won't cause confusion, they'll bring peace, and they'll feel familiar, like a soul you've met before because this person was part of your soul contract, which you agreed to meet again once you remembered. This divine activation is causing your discernment to increase and your intuition to sharpen. As a result, your spiritual senses are being reactivated, and with that awakening will come more signs. For example, the number 111 reminds you that your thoughts create your reality. The number 444 indicates that your angels are protecting you. The number 555 signals that a significant change is about to happen. And the numbers 717 and 911 are urgent calls to step into your spiritual purpose. When you see these, stop, listen, and ask God, "What are you showing me?" And you'll start hearing more. You must be deliberate and protect your energy like never before because now that heaven has activated your path, darkness will try one last time. It will appear as self-doubt, people from your past, distractions dressed as opportunities, fear disguised as logic, in your ears, but you will know better because the veil is thinner and your timeline is speeding up. What used to take months will now take weeks, and what you thought was blocked is now being cleared. Difference because your heart has now been marked by light, you have been called by name, and you have been reminded that you were never forgotten, that God never gave up on you, that your story was never too broken to be rewritten, and that you have seen too much to go back to sleep. I want you to hear this part as clearly as you heard the beginning. You are about to enter one of the most beautiful, unexpected, and abundant seasons of your life, but only if you don't ruin it, if you don't talk yourself out of it, and if you think you deserve it, do not. Let them talk, let them misunderstand, let them go. What God is about to put in your life won't require you to beg, explain, or shrink. It will come with ease because it's yours. Let that sink in. What's meant for you won't come through striving, it will come through surrender, and you have surrendered. Look back, that part of your story is over. You don't need to explain your evolution to those who only knew you in your pain. They were part of the version of you that survived. I want you to hear this part as clearly as you heard the beginning. You are about to enter one of the most beautiful, unexpectedly abundant seasons of your life, but only if you don't sabotage it, if you don't talk yourself out of it, and only if you believe you are worthy of it. This blessing is now being released because you passed the final test, you accepted the message, and you gave heaven your time. Heaven doesn't waste what is offered in faith because you've seen too much to go back to sleep. Let them talk, let them misunderstand, let them go. What God is about to put in your life won't require you to beg, explain, or shrink. It will come with ease because it's yours. Let that sink in. Something meant for you won't come through striving, it will come through surrender, and you have surrendered. Don't look back, that part of your story is over. You don't need to explain your evolution to people who only knew you in your pain. They were part of the version of you that survived. A place is being cleared, a path is being revealed. It won't be loud or announced, but it will be undeniable that it's from God because it will bring peace rather than pressure. That's why this blessing is now being released because you passed the final test, you accepted the message, and you allowed yourself to feel that you gave heaven your time. Heaven doesn't waste what is offered in faith, so now be ready, be expectant, and walk with your head lifted. When it occurs, Archangel Michael will be by your side. You might not see me, but your spirit will sense me in the warmth that enters a cold room, in the silence that suddenly feels holy, in the timing that no one else understands. That's me. In those moments, remember that everything started because you decided to open a message, that you passed the test, that you heard the call, that you remembered your name, and that you are now walking boldly into your promise. It's no longer a question of if, but when, and that when. Beginning now, I love you, heaven loves you, and this was always meant for you. Then, let's continue, dear, because even though your heart has already sensed the change, we are not quite done. There is still one more layer to this divine encounter, and I need you to remain open for a few more moments, because what I'm going to say will answer all of your questions, and if your soul is still listening, I can assure you that you will understand why your entire life has led to this point. Few people ever have the opportunity to hear directly from an angel, and even fewer actually understand that you are more than your name, your mistakes, your past, the labels they gave you, and the wounds that never fully healed. You are a divine soul wrapped in skin who was sent to earth with a mission, and part of that mission was to forget so you could remember. The forgetting was the first test, and now, my dear, the moment a soul awakens, everything changes, including how people treat you. The things you used to put up with, the things that used to drain you, start to fade away, not because you've improved, but because you've become real. This is what awakening looks like, not loud, not dramatic, but soft, deep, and unmistakable, the sudden realization that you no longer have what you were meant for. You deserve love that doesn't make you doubt your value, and yes, you do, regardless of what they said, how they treated you, or what you did in survival mode. That's the kind of love that feels like God never left the room, and that's the love I'm pouring over you right now. If you need to visualize my wings wrapping around you like a shield of warmth, light, and clarity, close your eyes. No longer want to settle? It's the decision to protect your peace like it's gold. Let me leave you with this final truth, a truth that will remain in your heart long after this message ends. Everything you've gone through was not meant to punish you, rather, it was meant to prepare you for your divine experience. This is visitation, this message isn't entertainment, it's sacred communion, and your soul knows it is why the air around you feels different now, why you're blinking back tears you didn't expect, and why a part of you is still saying this can't be an accident. Your suffering has not been in vain, your waiting has not been in vain, and your silence has not gone unheard. The years you spent wondering if anyone was watching you have come to an end. Heaven sees you, God sees you, and I see you. Now that your hiding season is over, you will be seen, heard, and honored because you have remembered who you are, and people who remember cannot be persuaded to shrink. Instead, they will rise as the true you, that soul on fire full of light. As a child of God, the world is not prepared for them, but heaven is, and heaven is grinning now because you have finally answered the call, opened the message, and finished your test. With all the love in the angelic realm, I say these last words over you, not only as Michael, your protector, but also as your divine friend. Go forward, brave one, heaven is behind you now, and your time has come. Yes, beloved, I will continue because your soul is still open and still reaching for. A final thing that few people ever realize until it's too late is that there is still more for your heart to receive, because this isn't just a message you stumbled upon, it's a divine appointment, it's a love letter written across eternity, and now that you've opened it, the final seal is coming. I will not leave you in the middle of this miracle because I know what's happening inside of you right now. I can feel the quiet shaking, the breaking of walls you didn't even know were still standing. Breaking, and now I have to tell you something that your soul already knows, even if your mind has been scared to believe it. You are the miracle that someone has been praying for, and no, you are not a better or more healed version of yourself in the future. This is you, the person reading this message right now, with trembling hands, a weary heart, and a silent hope that perhaps this is true, that you are, and someone on this planet, someone you haven't met yet, someone you've lost contact with, or even someone you've given up on, they are waiting for the precise vibration of love. Heaven doesn't make duplicates, and no other soul possesses the same combination of fire, softness, strength, surrender, light, and shadow that you do. That is your power, so stop apologizing for how deeply you feel, stop silencing your fire because others can't withstand its warmth, and stop concealing your gifts as though they were burdens. Instead, they are weapons of light in a world in dire need of healing, and now that you've remembered this, you are unstoppable. Pay close attention to the last part of your message because it's a revelation rather than a warning. This is why I, Archangel Michael, was sent to speak with you, not just to test you, not just to protect you, but to anoint you. From this point on, everything in your life will change. Your prayers will start to come true more quickly, your intuition will get stronger, the weight you've been carrying will start to lighten, and the right people, the ones God handpicked, will start to find you without you having to chase them. When your soul is fully awake, it emits a frequency that only truth can hear, and that's what you've become. Do you know what truth does? It disrupts the false, breaks chains, heals bloodlines, and restores everything that was taken too soon. Your mission now is not to live a quiet life, it's to change atmospheres, bring light into dead places, and remind people of God by the way you walk. I know you don't feel ready, that the past still haunts you, that the fear still echoes, but hear me out, as someone who has stood before God's throne, led armies of light, and fought in realms you can't even imagine, you are ready, not because you are flawless, but because you are willing, and that is what heaven most needs. Therefore, I leave you with this so that when the next test comes, don't panic when the doubt creeps back in, and it might. This is your golden season, your appointed time, the life you forgot you asked for, and heaven has finally said yes, so go with fire in your spirit, peace in your chest, and a soft heart. Don't let it win when the old people's patterns or temptations come back to tempt you back. Instead, walk away with grace but with finality because you no longer live there. You are walking in favor now, and you are living in alignment. You are being protected by legions of angels, and you are being divinely accelerated. I am your angel, and you are my assignment. Together, we will fulfill this holy purpose, so until then, keep your heart open, keep your spirit anchored, and keep your light burning because heaven is watching and they are so proud of you because you passed the test and they chose to believe in you. And when they ask what changed, smile and say, I opened the message and it changed everything. I will walk with you every step, every shift, every breakthrough, and you will feel me when you need courage, when you want to give up, when the world becomes loud again, you will hear my whisper. You see, beloved, not many people make it to this point, not many souls stay present long enough to receive the entire scroll, but you stayed, you honored the call, you honored yourself, and that alone sends a signal into the spiritual realm that cannot be undone, a signal that says, I'm ready now, no more delays, no more skipping, no more hiding, let it be. The miracle started because you remembered who you are, and because your heart stayed until the very end. I will finish this message not just with words, but with the full force of heaven's love behind them. You may not notice it yet, but things are already changing. Angels are being sent on your behalf right now. People who need to be removed from your path are losing access to your energy, and doors that were closed are now creaking open. Your health, mood, and thoughts will also start to notice subtle healing, a calming, and a clearing that is the sign of grace that occurs when your spirit returns to alignment. And now for the last invitation, Archangel Michael is no longer just. People will try to treat you like the old version of yourself, respond like the new one, temptation will come wrapped in the familiar choice, the sacred fear will whisper, but now you know the voice of God. He is watching you, He is walking with you, you have been upgraded in spiritual authority, you have been moved into a higher timeline, and you have crossed the threshold. Now, as your divine protector, I ask you gently but firmly, what will you do with this new light because you will be tested again, yes, but not to break you, to prove what's already changed inside you. Truth be told, since you are now in unfamiliar territory and the people here are not like you, you will start to have spiritual conversations that leave you speechless, supernatural timing where things come to you, sudden healing in places you thought were broken forever, and the last invitation is that Archangel Michael is no longer just watching you, he is now walking with you. You have been given an upgrade in spiritual authority and have been transferred into a higher timeline. People will try to treat you like the old version of yourself, and you will respond like the new one. Temptation will come wrapped in the familiar choice, and the sacred fear will whisper, but you now know the voice of truth will follow that because you are walking in new territory now. You have crossed the threshold, and now, in my capacity as your divine protector, I ask you gently but firmly, what will you do with this new light? You will be tested again, yes, but not to break you or prove what has already changed inside of you. Living here is not like other places. You will start to experience things like miraculous healing in places you thought were broken forever, reunions and revelations that will make you cry, not because you're hurting, but because you're finally free, divine conversations that will leave you speechless because someone finally understands you, and most importantly, a deep, unwavering peace that says, even when I don't know what's coming, I know who is. Teaching me that my love is the reward for the test, not wealth, not praise, but clarity, peace, divine companionship, and yes, unexpected blessings that will cause you to pause and say, God, I don't deserve this. He will smile and respond, but I said you do. You won't chase after things you've outgrown, you won't beg to be chosen, and you won't keep repeating old cycles in the hopes of different results. This time, you'll know your worth, your purpose, and the voice of God when He whispers, and you will follow without hesitation, and people around you will notice and say, you've changed. What happened to you? You will respond, I listened, and that's what happened. I finally opened the message that God had been trying to send me for years, and everything changed. They won't understand at first, but don't worry, your peace will teach them what your words cannot. If you ever start to doubt again in the days ahead, return to this message and allow it to speak to you once more because it was written in. God doesn't just talk, He keeps talking until your soul believes it. So let this be your sacred reminder that you are loved, chosen, protected, remembered, irreplaceable, and that you are now walking in your true light, the light that we in heaven always saw in you. Divine time contains codes, light, healing, and power. Every time you listen to it, it will meet you where you are. Every time you read it again, it will open a new layer inside you. Archangel Michael, your divine guardian, your warrior, your buddy, till the end of this life and the beginning of the next, is your sign. You will never forget it, and neither will I.